Welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher along with BNEWS producer Sydney Bowles, BNEWS reporters Tad Stefanak, Robert Paris, Sarushi Dema, and Carter Ames, Peter Brown with the weather, Juliana McGrain with sports, and Gretchen Carey with the community calendar. Thank you for joining us. Town meeting this week approved an upgrade to the Burlington Town Common. An electronic sign will replace the fabric banner that advertises upcoming events on the corner of Cambridge and Bedford Streets. Select Board member Nick Priest shared some of the reasons for pursuing the sign project.
So let's kick it off. Why are we requesting this sign? As it was stated by the planning board, members had spoken to the notion of increased awareness and improved communications. We want to make sure that we can, provide multiple messages in a given day. As it stands right now, one banner goes up. It's up for a set amount of time. That's the only thing that we can talk about in that particular area. In general, and you'll see the picture, not that you all haven't seen the corner as it stands now, this would give us the opportunity to improve the overall aesthetic of this particular corner of the town common. And in general, we're talking about a streamlining of the existing process, reducing staff time, reducing printing costs, which currently fall to the people who are making the banners.
Police Traffic Sergeant Peter Abascaroon said he wasn't worried about the increasing distractions for drivers. The sign is expected to cost about $50,000, paid for by ARPA funds. The town expects to go out to bid for the project as soon as possible. Burlington has been awarded $250,000 from the State Green Communities Program. That's a state project that helps towns and cities become more energy efficient. This time around, the funding will go towards replacing pumps and building management systems at Francis Wyman and Fox Hill Elementary Schools. In previous years, the funding had supported weatherization, HVAC updates, and LED lighting for all town buildings. But if Fox Hill is going to be out of service, I wonder why they would spend that money. Those of us who live in Burlington know how lucky we are to have so many great options for places to go out to eat, and there's no better chance to enjoy all of what the town has to offer than at the Taste of Burlington, put on by the Burlington Area Chamber of Commerce. BNEWS reporter Robert Paris has more.
Restaurants in town gathered together in the Marriott's Grand Ballroom to showcase their signature dish at the BACC's The Taste of Burlington. Host Jen Panikopoulos and Phil Gallagher went around the room to get insight for what's on the menu. The event itself is a crowd pleaser and always sells out.
Well, this is where all of our chamber totally comes together. We've got a lot of larger companies here that help sponsor, but it's really the restaurants. The restaurants are kind of the backbone of what we've got going on here right now at the chamber. They're the ones that bring the amenities that lure businesses to be here. And it's incumbent upon the chamber to make sure that their needs are met as well. So under one roof, we're able to really showcase what Burlington's restaurant scene is, and it's among some of the greatest in the nation.
In the VIP room, we caught up with some of the organizers and sponsors who say the BACC is a great asset to have in town.
The BACC does such a great job for the community here in Burlington, supporting local businesses, local charities, great causes. And, we're a presence here in Burlington. We have 3 dealerships here, all on Cambridge Street. And, they help us, and we want to give back to, their good works here in Burlington.
The Herb Chambers Companies has always tied in with us. The beautiful part is it allows 125 people to get a little extra something. They get 15 minutes extra admission into the room. And the really nice part is every year they get a little bit of a different decor, something fun for us to do, and it's just an added benefit to the taste.
With the many amenities the chamber offers, this event gave residents an opportunity to meet owners and chefs of the local restaurants.
Well, I'll tell you, we first of all, we love being a part of this event. It's one of the best events of the year, not only for the Capitol Grill, but for Burlington.
We have an awesome opportunity to go out in the community and build community partners, and also demonstrate events like tonight, which are super important to our community.
I think the biggest benefit of being part of the chamber is the networking. Events like this, being able to meet everybody, and I think it really is it should be part of everybody's everybody's playbook.
Our hosts talked with the restaurants to get their take on the evening.
So we love doing this event and other chamber events. Always fun to see everybody and get to try food.
This is always one of the best ones. I grew up in this town, born and raised here in Burlington. Through the 80s and 90s, there was nothing here. There's nothing. And now,
the Escadrille,
right, and the mall. And now it's just loaded with places. I personally think that Burlington has some of the best dining locations in the state.
You can check out the full special coming soon to BCAT. From the Boston Burlington Marriott, I'm Robert Paris for BNews Weekly.
Well, that was my first time attending, and I can tell you this is an absolute not-miss event next year. Everybody there had their culinary delights, and it was a weight gain evening for Phil. Burlington High School's School Safety Night is coming up on Wednesday, October 9, and for those who were concerned about safety incidents in the high school in recent weeks, it couldn't come at a better time. BNews producer Sydney Bowles spoke with Superintendent Dr. Eric Conti about the upcoming event.
The event on October, the night, for folks, they're going to be able to ask questions, and again, we can't share everything, but I'm sure the Burlington Police will be there to answer some of that, and we defer a lot of the safety expertise to the police. They're a wonderful partner. But I think people may be curious about what the protocols are, why we have them, and I think there'll be an important night to ask those questions.
It's been just a few months since Shannon Genovitz started as Burlington High School's lead DEI curriculum and instructional coach. It's a mouthful of a job title and big responsibility. She spoke with BNews this week about how she's wrapping her mind around the position.
One of my goals this year is to make sure that teachers are getting the support they need to support those students.
In the classroom,
while
teaching is happening.
Right, exactly. So and we have great teachers. We have phenomenal teachers, but teaching is changing, education is changing, students are changing, expectations are changing, and everybody needs support as we move forward. So I'm here to research that. I'm here to create resources, to collaborate on coming up with instructional strategies or implementing them or co-teaching for a little bit to make sure that what we are putting together is having some kind of impact.
You can see the full interview at bcattv.org. It's been a big year for the James Gang, the family nonprofit that supports adults with disabilities in recreation. This past weekend, they held their inaugural 5K right here in town. BNews producer Sydney Bowles has more.
Sunday, September 29th marked the first 5K fundraiser from the James Gang, which seeks to support adults with disabilities in recreation. The group is inspired by James Anderson, who has the rare genetic condition NARS1. It's been a big year for the family-run nonprofit. James and his cousin Liam ran the Boston Marathon in April, and the group funded an I Can Swim program with the Burlington Recreation Department over the summer.
It has just taken off since 2017 when we had golf tournaments once a year. Now we've had the marathon, we've had a road race, we've had a medium, we've had, what else? Golf tournament this year. It's been amazing, just amazing.
On Sunday, James crossed the finish line along with his sister Taylor Anderson. Taylor says it's all a part of the mission.
I think it would just be great to continue helping our community and funding more and more things for adults with special needs, and just in the end maybe having the same amount of opportunities for adults with special needs as there are for adults who are disabled.
You can find out more about the James Gang at teamjamesgang.com. For BNews Weekly, I'm Sydney Bowles.
Every year, the Indian Americans for Burlington puts on a Diwali celebration on the town common, and this year's was as special as always. Student reporters Carter Ames and Aaron Trickett were there.
Burlington's Indian American community showed up at the town common recently to celebrate Diwali, the Festival of Lights.
Diwali is one celebration which is celebrated across India, be it north, south, east or west. And and it represents like the victory of good over evil, and it's a very festive occasion for us. In India, it's similar to Christmas.
There are many things that we do ahead of time. That includes, but is not limited to, planning how the sequence of events are going to be and inviting vendors who would like to come and promote today, because we need that.
The event featured dancing, delicious foods, and vendors of all kinds.
Diwali special day. I talk, I meet, I sell, I do everything, and I eat sweets.
Nice.
I like it.
We are promoting our school. It's called Sunshine Montessori. It's a preschool that we opened in Billerica. So we are trying to spread the word. It starts for children from 2.9 to 6-year-olds.
My business is Joy of Treats. I have homemade sweets. I have traditional Indian sweets, fusion sweets, no added sugar sweets, and everything is homemade.
This year's theme was Threads of India.
So this year the theme is all about threads of India, which means like what kind of silks and what kind of fabric that comes from India, and we are going to be highlighting that this year. And you can actually see all of our ladies are actually wearing different parts of the India's threads actually.
Many of those who visited had a really nice time.
Fun time to hang out, a lot of people from school, a lot of people I know, so always fun.
For BNEWS Weekly, I'm Carter Ames.
Teams from across Burlington's local government showed up recently to support People Helping People, the local food pantry, and a fundraiser inspired by the popular game show Family Feud. Student reporter Arushi Daima has more.
What might an actor do to cure stage fright? You were first, right?
Take deep breaths.
Take deep breaths.
Burlington Town Departments went head-to-head recently in a cutthroat game of Family Feud, all in order to raise funds for the People Helping People food pantry. Coordinator of the event, Julie Lewis, is grateful for all the support.
It was a great feeling. We really appreciate the support. The support was just, amazing from all of the town boards and committees, and the turnout too. Just that so many people came out to support the event.
Planning for the event began months in advance, and coordinators put in a lot of hard work.
We probably had 7 or 8 people on our planning committee, and many others separately, volunteers doing balloons and doing shopping and coordinating with our donors, so Chick-fil-A and Wegmans. So a lot of time and effort went into planning tonight.
The winners of the competition, from the school committee, talked about the real reason for the event and the good cause that they were supporting.
It wasn't about winning. I think it was more about, raising money for a really good organization, People Helping People. And but it was all in fun, and I really thought it was a good event for doing this for the first time.
The Burlington Feud was an absolute blast, and the coordinators plan to bring it back for next year.
We've already had interest from other organizations that want to form a team next year, so we'll definitely be here again next year.
For BNEWS Weekly, I'm Arushi Daima.
Sure, Catherine, it wasn't about winning. Autumn is upon us, and that means fall yard work. Burlington Conservation Administrator Eileen Coleman has some suggestions for a more environmentally friendly fall. It's BNEWS Green Corner. Let's look.
Once the leaves have fallen, and they're lying around for a few days, so they're kind of dry. One thing you can do is you can mow them up using your lawnmower or a mulch mower, but you can just use your regular lawnmower, and then those leaves that are kind of chopped up can just stay on your grass. They'll go through the grass, they'll form a little bed. Earlier in the season, they're just going to break down. Insects and bacteria in the soil will just break it down, and the nutrients that are in the grass and in the leaves will be transferred to your soil. So you've got a lot of nitrogen, phosphorus, a lot of the things that you need, that some people apply as fertilizers, they're already in the leaves and in the grass. You can keep them there. So you've got a few benefits. You don't have to apply extra fertilizer. You don't even have to fill up your yard waste bags. You're saving yourself a lot of time. You're also saving you and the town money, because we don't have to actually spend so much on transporting those leaves. Between your raking and your mulching, one or both. A great tip is also to apply those leaves, either the leaves that you have that are just raked or the chopped up leaves, and put them around. Another good idea is to actually have plant beds that go right up to the base of your trees, because that's very good for wildlife. If you're putting leaves either around the trees or on top of the beds, you're helping to provide a soft landing for insects and caterpillars that are in your trees that we need. The caterpillars are actually a huge source of food for birds. Chickadees, one clutch of chickadees needs between 6,000 and 9,000 caterpillars. So that's a lot of caterpillars. So if you have just bare soil around your tree, when the caterpillars fall out, they have nowhere to go. Those caterpillars, they're bye-bye caterpillars. Whereas if you've provided some sort of soft landing for them with your plant beds and or your mulch and your leaves, you provided somewhere that they can land, and next spring there's something for those birds to actually use to feed their young. You're helping biodiversity, you're helping bird life, and you're helping other animals, because a lot of other animals eat insects. Doing a couple of very little small things on your own property. You don't have to completely go native, though you're welcome to, but if you just do some of these small things, you really are helping to contribute to biodiversity.
It's going to be a big day for all of you privacy fans out there. It's Townwide Paper Shredding Day coming up on October 19th, beginning at 9 a.m. Bring up 2 boxes to the parking lot behind Town Hall. Residents will be required to show ID. Shredding will continue until noon or until the truck is full. For questions, call Town Clerk Amy Warfield at 781-270-1660. Now let's turn to Juliana McGrain for a look at this week's in sports.
Hey everyone, I'm Juliana McGrain, and this is your weekly sports report. We're in the final month of the regular season, and one team in particular has already cinched a spot in the playoffs. Red Devils football had a decisive victory this week. For more, we go to Bill Hayes.
The Devils are 3-0 after a big 41-24 win over the Cambridge Ringe and Latin Falcons on September 27th. Let's break it all down. In the second quarter, the Falcons got the first touchdown of the night with a 5-yard pass from quarterback Dante Howard to wide receiver Jordell Sanchez. 6-0. PAT, no good. Cambridge recovered a fumbled ball on the kickoff return from Burlington, which led to another 5-yard pass to Sanchez, extending the Falcons' lead 12-0. Extra point was blocked. The Devils got right back up with quarterback Anthony Guerrier throwing to Ryan Ellis for a 52-yard catch. This led to a Guerrier rushing TD, 12-7 after the extra point. Now in the third quarter, Guerrier found his wide receiver Ryan Brooks for a 26-yard touchdown pass. 14-12 Devils after the extra point. Cambridge fumbled it again, giving the Devils another advantage to score. And they did. Running back J.T. Doherty ran it in for a 1-yard touchdown, 21-12 after the extra point. The Falcons were back on offense, going down the field as quickly as possible to get back in the game. But then, defensive back Drew Garvey recovered a forced fumble from Cambridge. The Guerrier to Brooks connection continued with a 27-yard touchdown pass, 28-12 after the extra point. In the last few minutes of the third, Dante Howard found Nathaniel Gizichu for a 33-yard touchdown pass, bringing the score to 28-18. The 2-point attempt was unsuccessful. To start the fourth quarter, Anthony Guerrier threw an interception into the end zone. This one gave the Falcons bad field position as they were backed up. The Burlington defense recovered the ball right back after a high snap led to a fumble, making the score 34-18. The PAT no good. Before the game was over, Sanchez threw a 7-yard touchdown, but failed at the 2-point attempt, 34-24. The Devils wrapped things up with a 71-yard touchdown on the ground by J.T. Doherty, 41-24 with a successful PAT. Burlington will be in Wakefield on October 4th.
Quarterback Anthony Guerrier got some special recognition this week. He was highlighted as the Boston Herald's Division IV All-Star of the Week for his performance at this week's game. Congratulations, Anthony. The Junior Devils middle school football team are 2-1 after a 22-12 win against Melrose. They will return home next week against Woburn on the 9th. The Woburn Burlington swim team lost to Reading Memorial with a score of 96-72. It's been a tough season for the combined team. They stand at 0-4 for the season. But there was a silver lining. A few athletes came in at a record time, including Riley McCarthy, Amelia Nagel, Kaylee McCarthy, and the 200 free relay team. Congratulations to the athletes. Burlington lost 95-73 to Lexington on the 3rd. Red Devils Golf is bound for the playoffs after securing a close win over Melrose, 38-34. This was Burlington's first win against Melrose in 7 years. And what made it even sweeter was that they cinched themselves a spot in the D2 playoffs. As for the Middlesex League shootout, Coach Bob Conceition called it great competition. Sam Curtin shot 76, Ryan Piscatelli 75, and Jason Kane 78. A few days later, Burlington lost a close match to Woburn, 37-35, but they're still ahead for the season with a standing of 7 wins and 6 losses. They have one more regular season meet next week where they face off against Wilmington, and then they'll head to the playoff tournament. Both boys and girls soccer had back-to-back losses this week. The girls were shut out against Belmont and Woburn. The boys were shut out against Belmont, Wakefield, and Woburn. Both teams stand 3-6-1 for the season. They will have a small break and then get back on the fields on October 7th against Winchester. The Red Devils cross-country teams were in Watertown to start off the month. The girls are still searching for their first win of the season after they lost 32-25. And the boys have a 2-2 record for the season after defeating Watertown 15-50. For more results on the boys' race, go to the following website. The girls' field hockey team took 1 step forward and 2 steps back this week. They had a 3-1 victory over Woburn, but they had shutout losses against both Belmont and Beverly later in the week. The girls return to action next week in Winchester. They now stand at 5-6 for the season. Girls volleyball had 3 back-to-back wins over Belmont, Woburn, and Watertown this week. The team stands at 8-4 this season. They're looking for another victory against Winchester on the 8th. For more Red Devils action, check out our sports section at bcat.tv/sports and follow us on X News at BNEWS Sports. That's all for this week. I'm Julianne McGrain, and back to you in the studio.
And here for a look at the forecast is weatherman Peter Brown, and stay tuned for your community calendar with Gretchen Carey.
Well, hello everyone, this is Peter Brown with a look at your weather for the next 7 days. Here we are heading in towards the first full week of October. I know it's hard to believe that we are that far into meteorological fall, but we definitely have some nice weather still coming up as we go into the first weekend of October. It's going to be pretty nice out there. Now, of course, the big noticeable thing now as we start heading into October is how short the length of day is getting. Those sunsets are now happening. Look at this on Friday. It's 6:20 p.m. And in fact, in less than 3 weeks from now, we are going to start to see our sunsets happening before 6 o'clock at night. So that definitely is a sure sign that, yes, we are heading into fall and even towards winter, but don't let that stop you. We have some beautiful weather still out there to go as we head into October. Looking at our temperature map, looking for us to have pretty much average temperatures. Definitely above average as we start our period, and then it's going to kind of trail off as we get in towards the start of the work week and ending out on a pretty cool note. Looking at our precipitation chances, are also calling for us to have about average precipitation. Thankfully for us, nothing like what they're seeing down in North Carolina and Tennessee right now after they had nearly 3 feet of rain in some areas in the Appalachians from Category 4 Hurricane Helene, which remarkably completely missed the New England area and the Burlington area altogether. We didn't get any rain out of that system at all. So as we go ahead, let's take a look at those temperatures and precipitation coming up for the next 7 to 10 days in our 7-day forecast. And again, starting out, look at this. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday going to be a gorgeous weekend if you get a chance to be outside. Friday, temperatures in the mid-70s. Wouldn't be surprised if a few areas might try and touch 80, which is very, very far above average for this time of the year. And then temperatures trail off a little bit as we get into Saturday and Sunday, but temperatures staying around 70. Now, as we get in towards Monday and Tuesday, it looks like we're going to have a slow-moving cold front moving towards the Burlington area. It looks like that's going to kind of stall over the area for a couple of days, and that may develop a small low-pressure center over us, which is going to keep us pretty soggy out there, damp, very chilly, especially when we get into Tuesday. The temperatures are going to be struggling to get out of the mid-50s. However, as we get in towards Wednesday, we're going to see that storm start to just move away from us ever so slowly. The sun's going to keep coming out, but those temperatures are going to stay cool. Looks like in the upper 50s only on Wednesday and the low 60s on Thursday. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are wondering, we're seeing so many green leaves still on the trees out there, even as we head into October here in the Burlington area, and that's due to the fact that we really haven't had any really cold nights over the past really 6 weeks. We haven't had anything too chilly out there, and it looks like that trend is going to continue. Maybe by the time we get to the end of next week, we may see those lows getting down to around 40, and that might start to spark some color in our leaves around here. But other than that, for a little color, it still looks like summer around here in the Burlington area. So everyone, get out there, enjoy the weather, and have a great week.
This is Pepper, and you are watching BCat.
Hey everyone, I'm Gretchen Carey, and this is your community calendar. On October 10th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., the Mama Bear Effect will be having a fundraiser at Top Golf. Enjoy a delicious buffet lunch, cash bar, and of course, Top Golf's inclusive high-tech golf course. To register, go to the following website. On October 24th from 6 to 10 p.m., the Burlington Fire Department will be having Oktoberfest at King's. For more information and to register, go to the following website. Through December, the Burlington Rotary Club will be having an online fundraiser selling See's candies for their holiday sugar rush. For more information, go to the following website. For more community calendar events, go to bcattv.org, burlingtonpubliclibrary.org, and burlingtonrecreation.org. I'm Gretchen Carey, and that was your community calendar.
As we do each week, we're finishing up with a photo sent in by a member of the community. Jack Gilbert shared this photo of a monarch butterfly in his window box. There it is. Thank you, Jack. Beautiful. If you have a photo you'd like to see featured here, email it to us at bcat@bcattv.org with the subject line Photo of the Week. And this Sunday, there's a special program, an interesting program at the library beginning at 1:30 called Author Fest, where over 20 of local authors will be there to show their work and to meet and greet with the reading public. It begins at 1:30. There is no cost to attend. Hope to see you there. That's our program for this week. Thank you for tuning in. We leave you with a bit more footage from Diwali on the Town Common, courtesy of Aaron Trickett and Carter Ames. I'm Phil Gallagher, and this is BNEWS Weekly. See you again next week.